that was awesome and amazing. I'm sure you enjoyed that. It was super awesome. You heard those phrases. Definitely, if you love jazz, you've got to love this amazing man. And yes, he's here. Like I said, he's here. I'm actually here too. I'm at the HKA School of Music, the Capstone Academy of Music here in the city of Ibadan. First and foremost, I think I will ask Baba HKA to introduce himself. I know you all know him as a saxophone player. That's awesome, an awesome part of himself, but he's going to tell us a little bit more about himself. So up to you, sir. Can you tell us or can you introduce yourself to us, sir?
Yes, thank you very much. I am Herbert Kunle Ajayi, also known as HKA. I hail from Lagos State, but I stay in Ibadan here. And I came to Ibadan in 1977 to study music at the Polytechnic Ibadan here. And since then, I graduated and came back, just stayed back. I went to Lagos to do my youth service, came back to Ibadan, and joined a jazz band in Ibadan. And since then, I've been in Ibadan. Somewhere along the line, the Lord caught up with me in 1986. But in 1993, I went to Lagos to bring my wife to Ibadan.
Wow.
And all my children were born in Ibadan here.
Wow.
They're all grown up now.
Awesome.
So, I'm here with you.
Awesome. Live and direct.
Yes.
That's awesome, Sam. So glad for that introduction. But if I may ask, sir, why Ibadan? Why did you choose Ibadan? Why exactly? Is there something that actually inspires you about Ibadan, or you just felt you should be here because of your music or something? Why Ibadan, sir?
Really, by all standards, I shouldn't be in Ibadan. But I just found out that I gravitated to Ibadan. You know, first of all, like I said, in 1977, I came to study music in Ibadan. And that's more like toned down all my fast movement, my fast life that I gained from Lagos.
Wow.
Because like I said, I'm from Lagos State, Ikorodu, for that matter.
Wow.
And I came to Ibadan, I just toned down. And when I graduated in 1983, I went to do my youth service in Lagos and came back to Ibadan after I finished my youth service in 84. And I teamed up with a jazz band in Broken House, Ibadan here. And thereafter, the rest is really a story, history.
Yeah, the rest is history.
So that's how I just came to Ibadan. And like I said, I went back to Lagos to bring my wife from Lagos. I got married in Lagos.
Wow.
Brought her to Ibadan. And I'm still in Ibadan. Now I have a music school. We're actually doing this recording in the music school here.
Awesome. Yeah.
And I thank God that the music school is on. And there are a number of music schools in Ibadan. But I would say none is like HA, Capstone Academy of Music. You know, we teach people, children basically all instruments except the talking drums, really.
Oh, great.
So people have asked me about talking drums. I said, unless we have many who want to, so that we can get instructors for it.
Awesome.
But really, we teach them drums, keyboards, bass guitar,
saxophone, definitely.
trumpet, voice, violin. You know, virtually all the instruments that they play in the band, you know, in the band, orchestra or whatever. We teach them here.
That's awesome, sir. That's awesome. I think that's one great thing a lot of people need to learn, to institutionalize what they do, to see how they can actually help others get better also. And thank you so much for that legacy, sir. We are grateful. Another question I want to ask you, sir, is what does it feel like turning 69? I know you'll be celebrating 69 in another, say, about 7 to 8 days from today. What does it feel like, sir, turning 69?
Well, you see, I've read in a few places, but I've come to the realization that 69 in age is just in figures. It's not in the mind. Except a few people who, some people may get depressed, may get weighed down by the protestations from the body. You know, the body may protest, you can't do some things, but I still get along. Though my body may sing and tell me, no, I can't do this, I can't do that, but I still get along. You know, but by and by, 69 years old is just in figures.
Awesome.
You know, it's not in the mind at all.
So it's not just about growing old, but the fact that right deep within your heart, you're still young at heart and you still want to achieve so much. Because one of the things that actually, in quotes, let me say, messed me up was when I met you, and you said you have a lot to do. You kept telling me, Toby, there's a lot to achieve. There's a lot you need to achieve. There's a lot you want to make work. And it blew my mind. Like, if someone turning 69 would be speaking like this, how will the younger generation actually speak? And I really appreciate you for that, sir. And like you said, you're young at heart. So I think I'm permitted to ask you, what are your goals over the next 20 years, sir? Because I trust God that you will live far above 20 because you've been an amazing inspiration to us all. But over the next 20 years, sir, what are your goals and what are your plans, sir? Would love to know.
First of all, I still want to get better playing the saxophone.
Wow.
That's number one. Number two, the music school also needs to go in leaps and bounds. That's number two. Number three, I want to begin what I call, what everybody would say, a music festival. That is, this year will kickstart what will happen from next year. That is the music festival in which we have 2 or 3 days music activities.
Awesome.
Exhibition, playing music, having a platform to present a lot of people, a lot of talents in music, in artworks. By the way, I used to draw.
Wow.
I used to draw.
Wow. So many of us knew you as a saxophonist. Now we are hearing that you draw also. That's quite inspiring. Yeah, I'm listening, sir.
Yes, and when I studied music, before I went to study music, I was already playing guitar, lead guitar, and singing.
Wow.
I had a band and we were singing, we were playing and singing. And I tell you one thing, there's one story. There's a DJ that used to play some music in Lagos on Radio Nigeria. The man is called Bensin Idonije. He played one music way back in the early 70s. I heard that music once on radio. And the next time I heard it, we were rehearsing it. We were playing it. We were rehearsing to play the music. And the next time we were playing it in a live program. I only listened to the music once on radio. So when I went to study music, I actually was already a guitarist. Then I started the music program, and piano was the major thing then. And then that was OND. By the time I started the HND, I now took on the clarinet as my major instrument. Piano was my minor. Meanwhile, in the band I had in school, I was the bassist. Because the reason why I shifted to bass rather than guitar was that we had two guitarists in the band and a drummer. There was no bassist. So I opted to play the bass. So I could play guitar, I could play bass guitar, I could play keyboard and piano, and I could play clarinet. Now, before I finished the music studies, I picked up the saxophone, which is now my main instrument in the professional level. And so that is the situation. I hope to really pick up do the music festival. I know quite a number of people are learning to play music. In fact, we're teaching children to play music. And I have a friend who is based in UK. Some years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago, he told me he met some young minstrels who play very good music. And they told him that I taught them to play music.
Wow.
And in 2018, I went to South Africa, and I was in a church just 2 days before we left South Africa. And the bassist there told me that he actually taught him to play bass guitar in our music school. That must have been maybe about 10 years ago.
Wow.
Because we started the music school as a summer thing in 2008, summer music training. And then it went on and on and on until 2014, when we eventually got where we are now, and we can go all year round doing training, music training.
Wow. That's awesome, sir. That's a huge one. I mean, having a festival put together by the great Herbert Kunle Ajayi will be an amazing thing that will grace the city of Ibadan, Nigeria, Africa, and the entire world, I tell you. But if I may ask, sir, what really inspires you to make music? What inspires you to make music? I mean, you've been making music for so many years. So what really inspires you to make music, sir?
Look, to tell you the fact, I can't say precisely who inspired me, whether my late dad or my late mom. My late dad, the best he made out of music was he used to beat his chest. You know, that was all he used to, I noticed that he used to do. And then my late mom too, before she passed on, she used to sing in her church choir. Very basic thing. Not like singing anything fantastic.
Fantastic.
The Roman Catholic church choir. So, the thing was that when I was very young, I knew that I just liked to dance, first of all. And then the very first time I heard jazz music, I didn't know where it was coming from, where it was going. I just went to sit down to listen to it. And I tell you, jazz music that was played in 1940 is still relevant till tomorrow. It's still relevant till tomorrow. The reason being that the level of dexterity, the level of skill used by these musicians, people today are still trying to reach that level and to pass that level. Even to get to that level, it takes you quite some years, a number of years, nothing less than 10 years to get to that level before you now say you want to pass that level. You know, so it's something that everybody needs to press into. And so from the first time I heard jazz music, 10 years after, I started to understand what it is like. And I tell you one thing, Fela Ransom Kuti, I appreciate his music, but I did not like to play his music. I appreciate Sunny Ade, Obey, but I didn't like to play their kind of music. The reason why, it was too simple. I like to play to play lead guitar or play solo, and the chords are changing. from one chord to the other, to the other, to the other, just like that. I like to do it that way. And that was what tripped me most. And that is what has spurred me on and on until I got to the level where I am now.
Wow, that's super awesome. So you said something that struck me. You said you didn't like to play their music because it was too simple. Now, if I may ask, who would you say are your influences in quotes? Would I say complex music? Who would you say are your influences, whether locally or internationally? Who would you say are your influences in music, sir?
I think Dave Brubeck, who composed, who did Take Five, and then a host of others. Charlie Parker, Charlie Mingus was an acoustic bassist. Because like I said, I used to play bass too. In fact, I think in the whole country, in 1987, I was the first one to use a fretless bass guitar. And I used it for a number of years. And when I gave it out, the person who bought it, he put frets into it.
You can imagine that.
He put frets into it. And and I'm still hoping I'll get a fretless bass guitar very soon. And continue to use it. I still love the bass guitar. So, you see, like I said, I played bass. I played a guitar first, then I picked up the bass and keyboard. So all those influences, guitar, bass guitar, keyboard, piano, clarinet, then saxophone, they all have their influences in all the players of those instruments. I take from here, I take from there, I take from every one of them. George Benson, Al Clue, Wayne Shorter, Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, just name it. Every one of those guys, guitarist, pianist, trumpeter, trumpeter, Chocho Valdez, all those guys, I took from all of them. Sometimes you will hear a guitar feel in my saxophone solo. Sometimes you hear a piano feel. Sometimes you hear bass guitar feel. Look, when I used to play bass guitar, there's this, the Crusaders, they did something, a song called Street Life, very popular song. It was a jazz music. And I love the saxophone solo played by Wilton Felder. I played that saxophone solo on the bass guitar.
You can imagine that.
So when I told some guys this particular thing, they said, why? I said, why not? Why not?
Why limit yourself?
Why not do it? You can take a piano solo and play it on the bass guitar. You can take a guitar solo and play it on the saxophone. Anything, just name it. All melodies are the same. All melodies are the same. They only tailor it to suit which instrument. Whether wind instrument or string instrument or piano. In fact, even the rhythm too, drums, you can simulate drum effect on the saxophone, on your instrument. Just simulate it, make the rhythm of it, and you have it. So everything is music, man. Everything is music.
So basically, it's more like you're given a blank check and you're asked to use it.
Yes.
So you can use it however you like on whatever instrument you choose.
Whether in the rhythm of the drums,
or the
rhythm of the saxophone, or the rhythm of the guitar as you are strumming, or the piano, or the trumpet, whichever one. The bass guitar.
That's awesome. I mean, it's mind blowing that I hear you speak like this, because a lot of people recently tell you, stick to what your instrument is playing. Don't go beyond that. If you go beyond that, you are abusing the music and all of that. And I get to tell them, I say, see, I understand the part of musicianship, but if you want to get better, you can't confine yourself to just learning from one instrument or from one player.
Okay, you see, you can start learning from one instrument, but when you have got to a level, you can move to another instrument. It will help you to understand the other one that you know already. And you see, the saying is, there is an adage that says that a good musician must know how to play 2 or 3 instruments with equal ease. With equal ease. That's the same thing.
Thank you very, very much, sir. Thank you for that. So I'd love to ask, do you have any future plans as regards your music? I know you're preparing for something very soon. I think that's in about 2 weeks or so from today.
Yes.
Exactly 2 weeks. So can you tell us a bit about it? Can you give us a little bit of expo of what the program or the concert is about, and what the attendees should be expecting, sir?
With so much response now from the social media, and I keep running into some people here and there, and they're telling me they are coming, they are coming, they are coming. They are coming, and I guess quite a number of people are coming. Over 1,000 people are going to fill that the venue. Now, we have music. The band will be playing with me. I have 6 hornmen.
Wow.
In the team. And yes, I have also, you can imagine, 2 guys. They're bringing their team from Lagos. I didn't invite them. They invited themselves. There's another friend of mine here in Ibadan. He said, I must come and play something. I said, wow. I can't stop these guys. They have decided to come and honor me, and I cannot stop them.
You deserve honor, sir.
I'm going to make myself an enemy.
That's true, sir.
So I just have to get them to, allow them to come. So apart from my team, I have 3 other teams coming to grace the occasion. And we're going to unveil concerning the music. We're going to introduce this music school again. And my wife also, she's a voice major from OAU. So she's going to be singing as well.
Amazing.
She has a recording too. I have 2 CDs, Themes from Heaven and The Scribe. Her own is Magnificat. She's a composer too. Then we are going to also unveil about the music festival, which we are going to start off from next year. And also, we are going to review you to.
Yeah.
All of you coming. You are going to see yourself. Quite a number of friends who have not seen themselves for a long time will meet at that point.
It's actually an opportunity to also network, reunite,
Yes.
and I mean, it's going to be an awesome night, I believe, and I suppose. And this event is actually going to be holding at Anaheim, number 16, Pudeti Avenue, Onireke, next to DSTV. I'm sure you can see the flyer on your screen right now. You can copy all the details that you need. Please and please don't miss this event. The time is actually 4 p.m. GMT +1. That's Nigerian time. But if you can be there by 3, so you don't miss, where to sit, please be there. And, catch a glimpse of the amazing performance of the great Herbert Kunle Ajayi and so many other performers. I personally have been a part of the rehearsal, and it has been both tasking and very, very interesting. And I'll be on base that day. I'm privileged to know that Baba HKA was a bass player, so that has put me on my feet to also make sure I perform well. So please and please, you still have the flyer on your screen. Make sure you don't miss this amazing event. And also, if you want to support, because the truth is, every great thing actually needs support. Every great vision needs support. On your screen right now, you have the details to support this event. Every detail is right there on that flyer, on that banner on your screen. Please copy and support. Give your support to a great legacy. You all know how amazing music is. Music can actually change lives. Music is an amazing tool to change a lot of things here on the surface of this earth. And it's amazing that we have the most universal tool on earth to reach out to virtually every soul and every human. I once said it, that the blind man would hear music and dance. The deaf will feel the vibration, even though they can't hear, but they will feel the vibration of music, and they would actually play. I mean, I watched the video of a lady who is deaf, but actually performed on, I think that was America's Got Talent. She had to pull off her shoes. At the point, I thought she wanted to pray. It was funny, but she pulled off her shoes, and she actually played the guitar and sang. The video is on YouTube, and I wondered how she did it. And after her performance, she explained that she had to pull off her shoes so she could feel the vibrations of the tempo and the beat of the song, so she could actually follow the song. Isn't that amazing? So please come, bring your friends, bring your loved ones. This is time. Number one, to honor the legend Herbert Kunle Ajayi. And number two, to reunite. Number three, to network. Number four, to meet people of like minds. And we're going to have an amazing time together. So, like I said, it's going to be a great time. I don't know.
For those of you who can't come physically,
yeah,
you will see, you can log on online, on YouTube, on Facebook. You log on. You will also be seeing some friends. So that guy is there.
Yeah.
You see another. So that guy is okay.
Yes.
That kind of thing.
So wherever you're watching this live stream currently on, you would actually watch the event on that same channel. So we're live streaming on the fan page, Herbert Kunle Ajayi, and we're also live streaming on the YouTube page. That's Facebook, Herbert Kunle Ajayi, YouTube, Herbert Kunle Ajayi. On Facebook, Ajayi H. Kunle also. Please and please don't forget, if you can't make it to the venue, you still have an opportunity not to miss this amazing event. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. We'll be taking a 10 minutes break briefly, and we'll be back in the next 10 minutes to wrap up this show. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Don't forget, we will be back. Have been speaking with the great legend Herbert Kunle Ajayi, and it has been an amazing time and an amazing session. And that was a short break fashion. I can see that you're on a particular shirt, sir, a branded shirt with your logo, and I can see a saxophone. I can see an H or a H, and A heart, yes. That's. I mean, can you tell us about this shirt? And because I feel this is such a beautiful and amazing piece of work that somebody might just like somewhere. Tell us a little bit about your brand and the shirt, sir.
Yes, the shirt was just brought to me today, and I've discussed it before that it would be good to have a branded shirt, a branded T-shirt, and this is good to advertise the program and also to make people know what I'm doing by taking a copy, buying a copy. It will be at least it's like you're taking a bit of myself along with you to
That's
wherever
true.
you're going.
Sure, sir.
You can be flying to South Africa or to the end of the world. So
Yeah.
there are some guys in Australia and New Zealand who probably are watching, and they may decide that please let me have one, and you can also have one. It doesn't cost much. It's just
Token.
coins. It's just a coin.
Great. So really, if you're interested in this T-shirt, this branded legendary T-shirt,
Yes,
this
let me just
okay
you know you also have it at the back,
at the back.
and you have it in front and at the back. At the back, you have all the three saxophones there. Yeah, and that comes down to which
Saxophone do
I
you
like.
love to play?
You see, when I bought my first saxophone, it was an alto, and you can imagine that time. I bought the saxophone for 2,000 naira. Right now, you can one reed tenor saxophone costs 1,700 naira. That's 3,300 naira less than the amount I used to buy the saxophone then. This was in 1988 or so. Yes. But before I bought the saxophone, before I bought my alto, I had a tenor. Somebody borrowed me a tenor. And I loved the tone of the tenor, especially the low frequencies. It really sounded so well when you're playing it and you play it soft up to the most bottom note. And then you see it has a very broad expression. You can sound soft as well as you can sound loud on it. But after I bought the alto saxophone, I found that it also has its own quality. And then eventually I had a soprano. I concluded that the soprano saxophone sounds like the sound of the Holy Spirit.
Wow.
But over the period, after playing all the three, I think they all sound good. They all sound good. You see, for most Nigerians, the alto saxophone is the one that is averagely priced. And thank God for China that made the cost of saxophone cheap. But it's no more cheap now. In 1986, 87, let me say 90, 91, an alto saxophone was going for about 20-something thousand naira. Now, in fact, let's say 2013, 2014, we were still buying alto saxophone for about 40,000 naira. Now it is going for about 130, 140,000 naira. That's the Chinese product. You can't talk of the professional products like Selma,
Professional
Selma
Yamaha
or
and
Yamaha, not to talk of Rampon and Kazani, or Julius Kelworth. You'll be talking of over $1 million. So, but if you are able to get one, get whichever one is averagely priced for you. And you definitely, some people prefer soprano saxophone. Some prefer alto, some prefer tenor. I like all the three of them because they have their own tonal qualities. And if you have the proper quality mouthpiece and a good reed. You see, when you first start playing saxophone, it's better for you to start with light reed because your mouth, your lips, your jaws, they need to get used to playing it. After a while, you start from maybe 1.5, gauge 1.5, and then you move to 2, then you move to 2.5 to 3. I use 3.5. That affords me the opportunity to hit the high notes constantly. And then you see, generally, it gives me a very broad expression, a very fat tone, whether for the soprano or the alto or the tenor. It gives me a very broad tonal quality. And that's how it is.
That's awesome, sir. Thank you so much for that. I think that's a mini master class because some saxophonists out there might be lost on what to do, what to get, and all of that. Thank you for that mini master class you give to us, sir. As we round up, sir, I would love to ask you what advice you have, or any advice you have for young and aspiring musicians, sir. I'd love to ask if you have any advice for them, because I tell you, one of the things that a lot of young people are looking for right now is the right mentorship. And I'd love just these few minutes or seconds you speak will probably change the life of one young aspiring musician out there and help them get better on their instrument, get better as human beings, and get better as a people. So, what advice would you have for young and aspiring musicians, sir?
Yes, you see, like I said, I play a number of instruments. So, whichever instrument you want to play, for starters, you want to start afresh. Okay, pick one. The one that you love most. Pick one and get somebody to teach you. If you are in Ibadan, try and locate us. I think my number should be on the screen. You know, locate us, and register in the music school, and from it, begin to learn to play the instrument. Listen to other people who play those instruments. Listen analytically to them. You see, for me, I still listen to other players who are better than me. I listen to them. You see, in Yoruba, they say, "Kiyan fa nkan ru." That means you cram it, you memorize it. Whatever it is they have played, play it over and over and over and over and over again. Like 100 times, more than 100 times. So that every articulation, everything that they have done, you to do. By so doing, you are actually memorizing what they have done. And whatever you master, whatever thing you do, it will affect your other things, the other things that you are doing. Now, if you now know how to play more than one instrument, that thing, the scales, the melodies that you learned doing one thing, you will transfer it to the other instruments. And that's how you just increase on your skills. You increase on your skills. And Toby is there, well, I'm there, and a vast variety of guys are also out there that play very wonderful, who are very skillful. And listen to them analytically, what they have done. Don't take for granted what they are doing, because that will affect your playing, and for good. So take it and put it in your right hand and run with the vision. You won't miss it.
Thank you so very much, sir. It's been an amazing time with you. Personally, I have learned a lot from you in this short session we have had together. And I tell you, I can only ask for more. But the truth is, even though I want more, I know a platform has been prepared for more where you actually listen to Daddy and also get to learn from him, even at the HKA School of Music, the Capstone Academy of Music Academy. And you have the phone number right now on your screen. It's on your screen. You can copy and call. Copy and call. Let me tell you the truth. The solution to some of the problems you are facing right now in your music is simply a phone call away. Sometimes we waste too much time. In fact, I had about someone who wanted to learn something sometimes back, and he said he was going on a prayer and fasting. And I just laughed. Prayer and fasting. And the person you can actually meet to ask how to do that thing is somewhere around you. And you are telling yourself you're going on a prayer and fasting so you could learn that thing. No. If you find resourceful people around you, meet them and learn from them. Here's an opportunity to learn from a legend. The number is on your screen. I'm going to say it 4 more times before we round up this show. The number is on your screen. 1. The number is on your screen. 2. The number is on your screen. 3. The number is on your screen. 4. Okay, Grace. Let me call it 2 more times. The number is on your screen. 5. And finally, I will call the phone number out again, even though you have it on your screen. 0803 333 6944. The final Grace. 0803 333 6944. It's such a joy to be here today. Thanks for entertaining and welcoming SOUNDBANK Multimedia here to live stream this short time of interview. We are glad and we are grateful for you having us interview you. And I believe that a lot of people would have picked so much from this short time with you. Don't forget, the event is on the 5th of June. The flyer is on your screen. Part of it, be a part of a legendary idea and a legendary step. And don't forget that this marks the beginning of several other events we'll be having in the future. And it's going to be awesome. So thank you once again for having us. This is SOUNDBANK Multimedia, your live streaming partner, virtual conferencing partner. And we are available to live stream your events at any time, at any place. Thank you so much. I'm going to be leaving you with The Scribe. That's one of the tracks of Daddy Herbert Kunle Ajayi's albums. And actually that's the title of a particular album. And also, this is the track I'll be playing for you to listen to in a bit. So thank you. God bless you. Have a wonderful and a lovely day. Bye.
Mm.